Just started. How the hell did I get a like? This shit is weird. I didn't do it. I didn't do it myself. I don't like my own shit. Anywho, what up? What it is? It's been a minute, right? I know it's always been a minute. I be busy. I be having shit to do. I'm not a YouTube star. I'm a real nigga that got real shit to do. Other than be going live all day, every motherfucking day. Nigga, shit, I got real shit, nigga. I got a real life. Shit. I be fucking doing shit. What else is new though? Y'all let me know if this shit coming in clear. I don't know. I think it is though. Peace. What up? Hold on, who in this motherfucker? First of all, it's Sunday. Don't y'all niggas gotta get up for work? Hold on, nigga. Hold on. You know I gotta get on y'all. Hold on, let me pull this shit up over here so I can see the goddamn live feed. Cause I can't see it on the phone. Hold on. Put that shit on mute. Alright. TC, peace. Galactic Human, peace. Peace to the God. Crystal Francis, what up? Peace. Don't be putting that Libra symbol up in here. Put that Libra symbol up in here, Crystal. Eileen, what up? So for real, what up? Oh, Oakland, okay, so it's early in the West Coast. It's early. It's early in the West Coast. It's relatively, you know, and we in the East, so you know what I mean? It's kind of late for a Sunday for some niggas. Oh, Chris, we said that's balance? No doubt. You know, I'm going to talk shit from the gate. Look at my knuckles. I fucked up trying to do a do-it-yourselfer. It happens. But anyways, I wanted to check in, see what y'all was up to. It's been a while. I think it's been like 3 or 4 months since my last video, man. What's up with that? What up with that? Shit, life. That's what happened. Shit. Life is what happens. And in the midst of life, you figure out like how to like excuse me, ooh. This ooh. What you call this shit? This is motherfucking how do you call I don't even know how to pronounce this shit. Hold on. Somebody could pronounce it. It's like some type of cheese. What do you say this? How you say this shit? I forgot. What is this strain called? Biscotti. It's called biscotti. Biscotti. Anyways, I like to say I spend most of my time studying. I would say that. I would say I spend most of my time studying, exposing myself to new shit, trying to break through my programming. Constantly seeking to hold myself accountable to not being complacent to what it is that I think I know. It's never satisfying. Never. Always seeking, always learning. Never glossing over the fundamentals. Never. Oftentimes we look for you look for sparks to shoot out your ass. But in reality, it's the simple things that we gloss over. We look over the simple shit, like confidence. Something like confidence is so key that we don't even understand that if you just have confidence in knowing that how you develop things for yourself, how you come up with things, your imagine, like how you just having confidence in how unique you think is key. If niggas could just develop just a bit more confidence in how unique they think, that can help you a lot longer. That can help you more longer along the way. You won't get so caught up in like feeling like you have the wrong idea all the time. You just start going with shit. You dig? Justo Franco. Peace. Gangsta ass name. Justo Franco. Got one of them strapples. Shrapnels. Niggas just don't have confidence. They just rather just go along with things, or better yet, they'd rather just infuse themselves in some sort of system and then pick a side in that system. You know what I mean? That's why I think wrestling is so interesting. Like if y'all grew up watching wrestling, like think about like in wrestling, like in like WWF, the NWA, that was like some old wrestling from back in the 80s. When you watch like wrestling period, especially back when you was young, when you were a bit more impressionable, like remember how emotional you was about that shit? And them niggas is fake punching and shit, but you didn't give a fuck. You had your favorite motherfucker you wanted to win, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. But I find wrestling, especially in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and somewhat in the 90s, but in the 90s, the psychology of it started to change. But in wrestling, like people who used to actually attend the shows, the actual wrestling fans, they believe that shit. And I find that interesting. I find it interesting how they can become so emotionally engulfed in wrestling that they can be like, you know what I'm saying? Like they be at the shows like cussing the wrestlers out, throwing shit, cutting them, like taking it to a whole big level emotionally and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like getting into fights with their own family and friends, arguments, talking about who was the best wrestler and why this wrestler is, you know, that motherfucker. I just find the whole argument of it interesting. Wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching a whole bunch of wrestling interviews lately. Just a bunch of them motherfuckers. Just like watching what they call them shoot interviews. Now the reason why they call them shoot interviews is because a wrestler is not supposed to, by code, is not supposed to talk about the business of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like they supposed to, like in the world of wrestling, they are pretending that this shit is real. Now, that might seem ridiculous now because hindsight is always 20 fucking 20. But when I was a kid, I didn't know how this shit worked. Yeah, I seen they was jumping off top ropes and niggas was just laying on the fucking ground and not moving. I'm like, why don't the fuck they just move? Why they just letting that nigga just hit him with a flying? Why they letting that nigga hit you with a flying elbow? Like, I don't see niggas do that in the streets. You know what I'm getting? But yet and still, like, I remember like feeling like, nigga, don't move, nigga. Let Macho Man hit you with that shit, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why the fuck is this shit so exciting? And it's not even real. But I'm emotionally invested. You know what I mean? It's quite interesting. Wrestling. You got your heels, which is the bad guy. And then you got the baby faces, which is, of course, is the good guys. You know what I mean? So the objective is very simple. The object is for the heel, is for to get the people so riled up, so upset, so emotionally invested in disliking their character or their gimmick. A gimmick sometimes, from a wrestler standpoint, can be viewed as kind of like a what can you call it? They kind of view that as like an insult to some degree, because gimmicks are for jobbers, and jobbers in wrestling is a wrestling term. A jobber is a motherfucker who's just in the ring just to get beat the fuck up. They just in there just to make either a popular heel look good or a popular babyface look good. So usually jobbers have gimmicks. They be motherfuckers like the mailman, the goddamn grass man, Mike John. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker that just be coming in there with just red draws and don't be looking like shit. They ain't got no muscles. They be looking all fucked up, looking like your neighborhood plumber. And then the Ultimate Warrior just come out, the heavyweight champion of the world, all ripped, 6'5", 250 pounds, with the cool ass entrance music, pyro. He running to the goddamn ring. He just coming in to fuck him up. And you know that as a child. Like, oh, this motherfucker don't stand a chance against Hulk Hogan. But what I find interesting is that how not only were the actual fans invested, that's a byproduct, but how invested the wrestlers were, how serious they took that shit, how they took their identity, you know what I mean? How they viewed their personal character. They took that shit seriously and they guarded that shit like you wouldn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, if King Kong Bundy was King Kong Bundy in the ring, and he was King Kong Bundy outside the ring. Motherfucking Ric Flair was Ric Flair in the ring and outside the motherfucking ring. You know what I mean? Because he had to make you believe that he was that shit. The Four Horsemen. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, J.J. Dillon, Barry Windham. Y'all don't know shit about that. I find that shit interesting. It's like when you study wrestlers, when you study their psychology, a lot of them go kind of crazy after a while, especially after their shit is over with. After the height of their career is done, they kind of go kind of cuckoo. A lot of them can't handle this shit. Drugs. A lot of them die young. End up, you know what I'm saying, doing heinous things to their family and to themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of incredible accidents happen. Like when you, and a lot of tragedies. Like look up, there was this wrestling family. Wrestling is known for families. And there's this particular family called the Von Erichs. Look up the Von Erichs. It was like 5 brothers. All the motherfuckers just died before they was 30. They were superstar wrestlers in the mid-70s into the mid-80s. They were superstars. You know what I'm saying? The Von Erichs, it began with their father. Their father was a wrestler first, and he was a superstar. He eventually went behind the scenes as an executive and became a promoter. You know what I mean? He ran his own territory, as they called it back in the day. This is before the WWF or the WWE took all the shit over. Back then, everybody had their own pockets of territories, and they ran their own shit. So the Von Erichs had a territory, and they were big time motherfuckers, white boys. And all the motherfuckers died of either suicide or drug overdose. Now, you can imagine having some siblings. You can imagine maybe one person. Maybe one. Even just if one person. You know what I mean? You lose a sibling, that's devastating. You know what I'm saying? Just one. But when you lose 5 of them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, to suicide or drug abuse, it's only one brother living. And he's living to tell the story. Like, you can see, like, I think his name is, I think the one that's living, I think is it Kerry Von Erich? No. It's too many of them. It's too many of them motherfuckers. But look up the Von Erichs. They have a documentary on YouTube, produced and directed by, it's on Vice. If y'all familiar, there's a big YouTube channel called Vice. Vice TV, I think it's called. They did a documentary on the Von Erichs. Watch that shit. That shit is hard to watch. It's like they can't live outside of being the character. They can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta be the star. And the thought, and I felt like what crushed them was the prospect of what it is going to mean to live life after being a Von Erich. They couldn't hold the weight. And I feel like that's what the so-called elite, the elite energy that's running, that's down here, that's trying to keep this shit going. You understand what I'm saying? They can't deal with the weight of not being in control. Or being in existence in a different way. They have to exist in this WWE fantasy. They can't exist in the real world. So they have to maintain the fantasy, you understand? By any means necessary. In wrestling, especially back in the 60s, you know, back in this heyday, it was important that you believed in it, because if you understood how it really, really worked, you wouldn't pay any fucking money. That's why you see wrestling ain't making no money now. Who gives a fuck now? Nigga, right now, they can give you a ticket. You wouldn't go to that shit. You wouldn't give a fuck who in there. It could be The Rock. You be like, who gives a fuck? You know, that nigga ain't The Rock no more. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? He's Dwayne Johnson, nigga. He go by The Rock, but he ain't that nigga no more. He been not that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't got that sauce no more. He's just pretending. You understand what I'm saying? He done moved on. You understand what I'm saying? He's back to that nigga that used to wear the turtleneck. You understand what I'm saying? Look at that picture of The Rock with a black turtleneck. When he got that chain on and that watch, he got that ugly ass, fucked up ass outfit on. It's a popular picture of The Rock. Just look up The Rock with the black turtleneck. He done reverted back to that lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? When he was The Rock, that nigga was cool. That nigga used to rock the Versace shirts and shit, the alligator shoes and shit. That nigga was cold. Now that nigga thinking about running for president. He barely identifies as black. I forget that he's black. I forget that he is a black heavyweight champion. As a child, it never even occurred to me that he was black. And I'm keeping it 100. I didn't find out that his father was black until I was an adult. I had no idea. He never repped it. He never put it on display. You know what I'm saying? You would have to research and find out that his father was Rocky Johnson, the wrestler, who was 100% pure, unadulterated. That's my $10 words for today. Those are my little $10 words. Pure, unadulterated. I learned that word unadulterated when I was a little boy watching New Jack City. G-Money said that word unadulterated. He said that shit so cool, I was like, I need to find out what the fuck that means. Another thing that's interesting about wrestling is that in wrestling there are different segments and different tiers of fans. You have a regular casual fan who perhaps may not know the inner workings of wrestling or know the inner working of wrestling, but likes a certain wrestler and just enjoys it for entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? They may not be extremely engrossed in it, but they just enjoy motherfucker for what it is. Maybe they like Stone Cold. They just like how he just whooped motherfuckers. Whatever. And then you have what you call like super fans. You know what I'm saying? Or what wrestlers would call marks. You understand what I'm saying? People who really, a mark is like someone who's really kind of bought in to like the world of how the shit go. You understand what I'm saying? Like they hate, you know, the Iron Sheik. You know what I'm saying? Like when he comes out, you know, they come to the show just to cuss him out. You understand what I'm saying? Like they one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Or they come to the show to see their hero. They got his posters, they got toys, you know what I'm saying? Like they truly believe in this motherfucker. And they're engrossed in the story. You know what I'm saying? They're one of those. Then, on the other side of the game, you have a fan who is a super fan, but they are wise to how the wrestling inner world works. Now, this kind of fan is kind of rare. They're called SMARK. You put an S in front of the mark. It's called SMARK fans. Now, these are the type of motherfuckers who actually understand the inner workings and the politics of wrestling. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I find this interesting is because I wonder what makes a motherfucker a super fan and engrossed and don't want to know how the shit works, and then another motherfucker who do want to know how the shit work. You understand what I'm saying? And how that, and you know, and the dynamics and how they intertwine. I find that interesting. You understand what I'm saying? Like I find it interesting that a smart or a conscious fan, I find it interesting that once they find out how the wrestling shit actually works, that they are still super fans after the fact. I find that interesting. which got me to thinking about consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? Think about though individuals in society, the small percentage of individuals who are in society, who are actually interested in knowing how this shit go. You understand what I'm saying? We are the smart, for the lack of a better term, we are kind of like the smart guys of the world. You understand what I'm saying? But the difference is, there's kind of like, I wouldn't consider myself a smart guy of the world because I'm not really interested in the game. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't. So that's why chaos beings. That's why we something fucking else. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you're seeing a lot of conscious niggas that's out there right now. They are still like heavy into like economics and things of that nature because they are conscious, but they are still interested in the game. You understand what I'm saying? They are still vested in the game. You understand what I'm saying? They still want to fucking wrestle. You understand what I'm saying? They still want to see suplexes and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like they still one of them niggas. They still want a large or a good segment of the population to remain super fans. You understand what I'm saying? So the shit can kind of keep going so they can continue to eat. Consciousness and so-called fucking wokeness isn't the problem. There's a lot of conscious motherfuckers out there. The problem is that there's a lot of conscious niggas who don't want to let go of the fucking game. Niggas still want to hold on to the game. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's how I'm seeing this shit. Motherfuckers want to still see the people's elbow when this shit is fucking over. Are you going to watch the next pay-per-view in WWE? You don't even know what this shit is. You don't even give a fuck because this shit is over. Wrestling ain't what it was. It ain't what it is. That shit is over. It would never be again. They can never make that shit interesting again. You understand what I'm saying? Ever. The only way they can ever make it interesting again is that them niggas have to actually go in there and actually be tombstoning niggas for real. And that shit ain't gonna happen, nigga. Imagine niggas giving niggas the DDT for real. You understand what I'm saying? Put niggas in real figure four. Leg locks. Nigga, please. That shit won't last at all. So the shit is over. So you ask yourself, as a conscious person, you understand? I understand that we still wake up in the human body. You understand what I'm saying? So the ill thing is that then you have to you gotta keep it clean. You want to sustain the shit. You know, you still want to prosper. But at the same time, you understand what I'm saying? In order to truly get a glimpse of what it means to truly prosper, you have to be willing to let go of what this shit is already. You understand what I'm saying? So you can see the new game, the real game. You know what I mean? Vince McMahon don't want to face the reality of life without the WWE, a world without the WWE. This shit is fucking over. Hey, look up Vince McMahon's first appearance since the coronavirus and watch him come out to his music. No chance. That's what you got. Watch this motherfucker come out and look like a motherfucking zombie. This shit is over. He out there trying to walk. He gonna walk out there, and then you think he gonna give like this big grand old speech, and he said some bullshit. I can't remember what he said. It was like 3 words, like "Where you been?" And then he walked back out. That's because he can barely stand out there. Sitting there trying to hold on. Like motherfuckers still care if the Undertaker is in another WrestleMania. Like, who gives a fuck? No chance. That's what you got. Don't. Let me look at these motherfucking comments. I got the ranting and raving. the Galactic Human said choke slams. Hell yeah. Shit, imagine a nigga giving a nigga a real choke slam. But imagine the circumstances it would take for that shit to even take place. For a nigga to even allow that shit. That would have to be a hell of a fight. No chance. Immortal said AEW is the new vibe. I've been hearing some shit about some AEW. Like, oh, that's where all the motherfuckers is going to. But we know this shit is, everything is scripted. If I know everything is scripted, I don't give a fuck. Why do I give a fuck how this shit turn out? I can't bet on this shit. It ain't like this shit is in Vegas. Like, the shit has never been in Vegas. Like, who's gonna win between The Rock and The Undertaker? That shit has never been in Vegas, I don't think. Because the shit is scripted, so you can't, like, gamble on the shit. Unless it's amongst your friends, but who gives a fuck? This shit is scripted. Either way it go, the outcome is scripted. And that, my friend, is a little bit different than a TV series. Let me see. Oh, Terrence Johnson said, "Where the hell you been?" Shit, nigga. Shit. Nigga living life. Shit. Living motherfucking life. Shit. Have I been gone that long? It ain't been that long. It don't even seem like that long now. Now that I'm here, it don't even seem like that motherfucking long. That's how you know time don't exist. You know what I'm saying? In a blink of an eye, you could think about shit you did when you was 9 years old, 4, 19. It's easy to time travel. Shit. 3 months. It's been 3 months. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. So much shit done happen, I don't forgot. Let's see. What you say? Hold on. Lionsgate 88. Yeah, I've been hearing something about some lion shit. I've been hearing some shit about that. Lionsgate. But yeah, man. Consciousness is a very interesting thing. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's an interesting thing to ponder what it means for yourself and looking at it as a whole. Not necessarily seeing how you fit into it because when you really divorce yourself of socialism, you begin to scoff at the idea of trying to fit into any motherfucking thing. You be wanting the world to fit around you. So you be like, you know what I'm saying? So you start to look at consciousness different. Like, I don't really care to know what it means to be a part of this shit. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just is. But then again, it could be misinterpreted because there are different levels of the shit. You know what I mean? Different levels. The scary part of it, the scary part of it is just being stuck. The stuckness is that's what I would find. That's why I find compassion for folk. It's the stuckness. You know what I mean? Getting caught up in a particular thing and then religifying it. You know what I mean? Instead of just absorbing it, you know what I'm saying? Truly living it and moving on. You know what I'm saying? Just moving on. Like, it's nothing wrong being like, let's say if you're into the Orishas and or something like that. It's nothing wrong being a master Orisha. You know, but imagine like just saying like, this is it, this is all there is, and there ain't nothing else to it, and I don't care about nothing else. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of scary. To each his own, but I feel like I feel that a major part of this human experience is to gather as much take as much with you not necessarily for hoarding's sake, as if you're like carrying like some sort of baggage. I was listening to a Rudolf Steiner video, and he was talking about the veil of death. I believe I posted it on the community chat thingamajig. It's on there. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out. It's an audio book of Rudolf Steiner. He's just on that motherfucking dropping. And he's talking about the veil of death. And he's talking about how it is impossible to walk through the veil of death without love. I had to really think about what he meant by that. You understand what I'm saying? And he was saying that if you don't love, if you don't have love, self-love, then it is impossible to walk through the gate of death, because you're not gonna feel good enough. You're gonna end up coming back and doing this shit again. Not because you don't have the right stuff. It's because you don't feel that. Like, if you don't feel that completedness, that completionness. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Or you don't feel completed. You don't feel whole. You always feel like you can come up with a better human idea. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to get stuck in that mindset. You want to have confidence right now, that said that I feel that, okay, right now, I feel this is good enough to take on to the next level. You got to have that type of love now. You can't feel like you can come up with a greater human idea. And once you're making this transition, you got to have love for how you think now. You got to feel like you're cool enough to do it now. You understand what I'm saying? When you when you was graduating high school or trying to get a degree or a certificate, you understand what I'm saying? Once you earned it, you didn't have to convince yourself that you was good enough once you completed the course. You like, give me my fucking certificate. You understand what I'm saying? Imagine completing a master's degree, but not feeling like you was good enough to earn it, and then you just don't receive it. Even though you did all the work, you put on the cap and gown, you walked the aisle, you actually did the damn thing. You actually did all the fucking homework, all the fucking studying, the rigorous work, not going out, not getting no ass. You understand what I'm saying? Making the sacrifices, you go through all that shit. Then imagine going to the podium and saying, I didn't get straight A's. So let me go back and see if I can now go do it again and get straight A's. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine getting stuck in that way. Like, nah, you got to be like, nah, I'm good with these B's. These B's is good. Yep, fuck it. Fuck it. I had a good time in college, too. I could have got straight A's. You know what I'm saying? But perhaps I would have missed out on some of them good-ass parties. You understand? Maybe I wouldn't have, maybe Trinice and Sarah wouldn't have stayed over that night. You understand what I'm saying? I think I'm good. I don't need to go back and do this shit ever the fuck again. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be cool with that. You understand what I'm saying? This is a school. And it's an old school. There's nothing new under the sun. This is an old school. It's an old game. And it's time to let it go. Let it go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. You dig? Let the shit go. But while you're down here, fuck it up. Definitely fuck it up. I'm down this motherfucker fucking it up. Doing the Dougie. I need to roll up. See what you niggers is. Let's see. Cash flow. Heart lighter than a feather, become indifferent. For sure. Devin Harris is about balance, love for self, and acceptance. Definitely. That's what it's about. It's about being cool enough with what it is that you've gathered. You understand what I'm saying? And that confidence is built upon the work that you do here. You understand what I'm saying? It's built upon that confidence. That feeling of completion is based upon that work that you do here. So when it's time to move on to the next realm, you ain't got no issues. You ain't got no worries. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck. You understand? You take the good with the bad. You take the F's, the D's, the C's. You like, fuck it. And them F's is just those L's that you took in your life. You know what I'm saying? Your chick left you. Your nigga cheated on you. Motherfucking, you never get the girl. Shit always go wrong. Whatever the fuck. Those moments, because that don't last forever. You know what I'm saying? You know, I imagine, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that there is a reality that exists where you actually get all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Where all that shit is accessible and obtainable to you. That's not no inspirational bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? That's just being able to use your fucking imagination. Because you can't even have that shit unless you can actually see it. If you can't see yourself actually, you know what I'm saying, like holding that shit, you ain't gonna even have this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's not no inspirational shit just to say, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, whatever your current troubles is, it's not gonna last forever. Because it's not, as long as you have the ability to see yourself as having whatever you want. You understand what I'm saying? and be willing to, you know what I mean, get off your ass a little bit. And I'm not talking about hammering nails in the dirt. I'm just talking just mentally. You understand what I'm saying? The mind is all. The universe is mental. The mind is all. The universe is mental. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause, which means if I demand it, it must be. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I have confidence in the laws that was established a long time ago. I don't have to argue this shit. This shit exists. You understand? This shit has been etched in fucking stone. You understand what I'm saying? Every cause has an effect. So if I say I am fucking God, you understand what I'm saying? As a man thinketh, so is he. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key to the game. You have to take on yourself. You got to take it on. It is nothing outside of you. The mind is all. That means you are a part of the oneness. So what is separate from you? What is there to look up to? That shit is weird. Why look up to the universe when the mind is all? And if I come from the all and the universe is mental, why would I look up to something that is in my fucking mind? Nigga, this shit is me. That shit is weird. And that's just on a logical level. That ain't even fucking deep. That's on a basic logical level. If the mind is all, and I am a part of the all, and the universe is mental, why am I looking up to saying, oh, the universe is going to bless me? If this shit is mental, I'm going to bless me, motherfucker. Me. How about that? I'm fucking this water up. Come back and look at this shit one time. Cause that's all I get. I probably run through a video once, that's it. I'm gonna look like, damn, I was hitting that water like, That's because that weed, boy, that weed had you hitting that cotton mouth. You dig? You ain't got shit to look up to. But look up to yourself. And become interested in how this shit work on every level. You understand what I'm saying? Once I began to ponder, a thing that I'm also noticing too, which is, I'm starting to see is not necessarily dangerous, but what I'm starting to see is somewhat of a pattern, is that conscious folk are kind of are getting confused. They get to a point where they begin to confuse themselves with the information. You know what I mean? To a point to where it starts to bother them mentally. They start to have, like certain breakdowns is starting to begin to happen. I'm starting to see breakdowns like I be getting you know what I'm saying? Like talking to folk who are conscious, who are in the know, but are going through shit mentally. You understand what I'm saying? Because the weight of it is kind of heavy. You understand what I'm saying? Dealing with the fact that you God. It's a heavy weight. You know what I mean? It's something that is inescapable when you begin to ponder that, okay, if I am this one, you know what I mean, and all comes from my mind, you know what I mean, then you begin to truly began to try to understand why, you know what I'm saying, why it was necessary to express certain things. Like, you know, like the sun, the moon, the stars. You know, when you go out there and you look up at it, it seems like a fucking mystery almost. You know what I mean? It almost seems unexplainable. Like I look up at the sun it seems so fantastic. Like it almost seems unexplainable, unreal almost. You know what I mean? Like how can something be that powerful and be that consistent all the time? You know what I mean? And it's just there, but we just accept it as this a part of life, but really it's an extraordinary, unexplainable thing in reality. Let's see. Let's see. You just have to be confused about traditionally. You're supposed to go from conscious to subconscious to subconscious to super subconscious, but they can't see that. Mr. Harrison here dropping that science. Mr. Devin Harrison here dropping that science in the AM on the East Coast, that is. On the East Coast, that is. Let me see, who was it? Who was it? Who was it in the comments? That's in Oakland. What Oakland at? I can't remember. Oakland's in the house. I just know that. I forgot. I can't remember who it was. But it's always the sprinklers of West Coast up in here. You find your way to this boat. You an interesting motherfucker. I'm a, you know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't for, you know what I'm saying? I ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? I could easily be viewed as a crazy motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? You really going through a gateway. You know what I'm saying? Because this my world is quite interesting, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? I always look for ways to bend this matrix without harming nobody. You know what I mean? That's the key. Like, I've been looking for ways to fuck with it. You know what I mean? Play mind games with myself. I be trying to move shit. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to think, like, is that my ego trying to tell me to move shit? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not, but fuck it, it's for fun. I was trying to see, like, because maybe one day it might move. So I'd be like, I'm looking at my lighter like, shit, motherfucker, just come, motherfucker. The mind is fucking all. I'm that motherfucker. Motherfucker, come over here, motherfucker. And it never moves. It don't work. It never works. I'm like, fuck. But that shit but that shit don't deter my confidence. Every time I try to move something in my mind, even though it don't move, that shit don't deter my confidence. I believe that shit can and one day will move. Shit. Like, fuck it, you gonna move one day, motherfucker, in this life or the next, motherfucker. Nope. Should be staying right there like, shit, I'm established, bitch. I'm just a plastic lighter, an inanimate object. Motherfucker, you want to pick me up and light me, you gonna have to pick me up, pick up that black ass hand, and Cash Flow Money said, confusion is a lack of understanding. Eileen said, West Coast is definitely in here. Man, I wanna visit the West Coast so bad. I need to go, but I ain't fucking around with no airlines trying to do nothing extra. Nothing extra. I ain't doing nothing extra to get on no plane. And I'm almost too bougie to drive. to the West Coast. That's just, man, when I think about that drive, I'm like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hell no. Hell no. When I think about that drive, I'm like, whoo. Because I get to thinking about, my silly ass start to think about the conditions in which it would take for me in order to make that drive. Then the shit gets real luxurious real fast. Then I say, all right, I'm staying my ass at the crib for now. Until the shit gets saucy. If the shit ain't saucy how I want, nigga, I sit my ass at home. I don't give a fuck. I like nice shit. I don't give a fuck. If I'm not driving from motherfucking Georgia to California in a fucking Camry. I don't know how niggas do that. I mean, to each his own. I be seeing I be seeing California places shit. I'm like, nigga, in a fucking Ford Taurus? Nigga, please. Like, you made that risk? Shit. I can't, like, the thought of being on the side of the road is one of the things about this human world that I can't fucking stand. You know what I'm saying? I always feel for people on the side of the fucking road. People who got like a blown out tire, their engine is out, raining and shit. I be like, damn, that's fucked up. That's why I be like, fuck it, man. I'd rather spend on a decent little car. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a nice car because I ain't finna be stuck on the fucking road. That's just what it is, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I can't stand that shit being stuck in the road and gotta change a tire. I got shit to do. I can't be out there stuck, baby. I can't be out there stuck, baby. Let me get me something foreign, man. Get me a Lexus, a Benz. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't even about stuff. That shit is just about, I just need something that I know that's gonna take care of business. Fuck it. I ain't got time to play. Fuck it. This human shit already hard enough. Now you want me to deal with a blown out transmission? In the middle of nowhere? Nope. So yeah. So I guess that could be somewhat confusing too for some conscious folk. You be trying to figure out what to keep and what to let go. You'll figure that out as time go. Don't worry about that. You'll figure out like, all right, the shit, like I actually like this shit. I'm gonna keep this. And then it'll be a bunch of shit that you're gonna let go. And as a result of you letting and shedding yourself of a lot of that old programming, you begin to allow a bunch of new shit to come in. And that's where the transformation take place. You know what I'm saying? But you also want to use your discernment. You know what I mean? Your discernment is your discipline. You know what I mean? And your ability to say, all right, you know what I'm saying? This is cool. You know what I mean? You don't want to overindulge. But then again, at the end of the day, we chaos beings. That shit, all this shit is subjective. But discernment is key. Obviously. Let's see what y'all niggas talking about. I didn't say bougie as fuck. Hell yeah. Bougie as hell. I'm just, when it comes to certain things. Only when it comes to certain shit. You know what I mean? Like my car, I'm in the garage. My car is used and basic, but that motherfucker is reliable as shit. But like shit, nigga, I got Wraith dreams. You know what I'm saying? I like cars, man. I always like cars. I just can't stand how Whitey just made it so hard for niggas to earn it, but Them days is over. Because in this new paradigm that we are going into, we're going to be creating new ways of creating wealth. It's not going to be conventional. So you got to have your heart and your mind open. You know what I mean? I'm not quite 100% sure of what that's going to look like, but it's going to be unconventional. You understand what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a storefront. You know what I mean? It's gonna be something a bit more organic than that. You know what I mean? It's gonna flow much better than that. You know what I mean? It will likely just be straight from your home. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to begin to open up to people again. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to begin to open up again. That's the time that we're in. You got to be able to open up in this new chaos realm. You got to be able to you got to be able to deal with people again. You got to be able to love people again. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be able to maybe not literally leave your door unlocked, but have it in your heart and your mind that you could. You understand what I'm saying? That you could. And having that in your heart and your mind, what that does is that energy just feeds off on the neighbors. It doesn't mean that you leave your door open and just say, hey, motherfucker. Like, nah, it's just that, just be more inviting to your neighbors. Try it again. Try it again. I promise you, you will find it fulfilling. Like, start walking your neighborhood again. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just go for a walk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once a day, you know, if you can. You know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 times a week, just your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? When you see a neighbor, say, what up? How's it going? You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? It's a breath of fresh air. I walk my neighborhood all the time. All the time. You know what I mean? They just know that they go that skinny nigga. They go that skinny nigga, you know what I'm saying? I walk my neighborhood all the time. You know, and I speak to my neighbors. I fuck with my neighbors. You know what I mean? Next door to me, there are 3 women that live next door to me. You know what I'm saying? When the trash day come, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I take care of that. You know what I mean? When I can, you know what I'm saying? I take care of it. Or if they haven't did it already, you know, once the trash run, once the can is there, when I get mine, I get theirs. You know what I'm saying? It's not the most charitable thing in the world, but it's the intent, it's the energy. You understand what I'm saying? It's the vibe, it's the love. You know what I'm saying? So every time, you know, when we see each other now, it ain't got to be about conversation. It's just about, you know what I'm saying? It's just always love. You know what I mean? And that brings wealth to the neighborhood, for sure. Love is truly all there is. Love was here from the beginning. From the beginning, before there was a beginning, love was here. If we are just, and I'm not just saying just, but just think about, if the mind is all and the universe is mental, think about this. If what we are right now as humans is a manifestation of the all, just like the moon, stars, and everything else, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and it's just an expression. If we are just an expression, like, think about, like truly think about, like how ancient and deep love truly must be. From the beginning, like just as a pure form of expression. The primordial essence of the shit. Like, just think about it, man. You begin to see that everything comes from, like seems like everything comes from it. And it feels like a part of the fall was our separation from it. You know what I mean? A part of this sleep was that we forgot what love is. That a lot of times we only express it superficially, or we express it in glimpses based on a need. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you'll see like a great dancer like James Brown, who becomes a great dancer, a great singer, based on a need. Can we guarantee that James Brown would have been James Brown if he would have grew up affluent, educated? He would have been a dentist or something. You understand what I'm saying? He would have probably been a dentist. But then again, that's not necessarily true, because Miles Davis, his parents was well-to-do. I believe his father was a dentist and his mother was a teacher or something like that. So then again, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you won't be a great artist. Hey, the contradictions of this shit. None of this shit is guaranteed. None of this shit is guaranteed. The thing that I find interesting is like the mass populace that is here, that's supposedly here on this earth, in like countries who have access to no information. Like, I find that interesting. Like they just live through life without consciousness, without knowledge of self. You know what I mean? They're just I don't want to necessarily label them automatons, because that sounds so derogatory, but it is what it is. The automatons of the world. You know what I mean? I heard Bobby talk about automatons. He talked about the 3 levels of consciousness that I found extremely interesting. He was talking about, you got the first level is consciousness, which is like you and I, a motherfucker who look at the game, you know, can see the shit for what it is and all that good shit. And then you got the second level is the intellect. You understand what I'm saying? The intellectual, the typical person who was in the academia. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, but we're talking about a person who is engrossed in it, in a sense of they feel like this is the end all to be all. You know what I'm saying? There are educated people who feel like education is the end all to be all. You understand what I'm saying? Being a professional is the end all to be all. A career is the end all to be all. You know what I'm saying? So there are individuals who live in that world. There are, you know, a mass majority of individuals who live in that world of the intellect. And under the intellect, you have what they call the automaton. You understand what I'm saying? Which is ruled by the intellect. So you got regular natural folk make up the mass populace of what is considered an automaton or a bird brain. The galactic human said the golems, right? The golems. You understand what I'm saying? Or what I think the Jews call them, what the Jews call them? The golems. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, I think comes from golems. You know what I mean? But in reality, the Jews consider a golem could be an intellect too. You know what I'm saying? Just a coon. You know what I mean? But anyways, the mass majority of the world falls under this guise of the bird brain or the automaton. You understand what I'm saying? And he was explaining that you have to accept the fact that most people walking around do not have a mind. Because in order to have a mind, you have to obtain a mind. You got to work on a mind. You got to cultivate a mind. You understand what I'm saying? It's not something that is just, which I find quite interesting. You would think, or they would have you think, based on how they describe the brain, that a mind is something that you just naturally have, but in reality, it's not. You understand? A mind is something that you got to work on. You understand what I'm saying? It's something that you got to, it has to be something of importance in order to have. And most people walking around don't have it. They just basically are just ran by programs that are set up by others in society. And they just looking for shit. They just looking for what's hot. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they just, you know what I'm saying? They just roaming this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And they just pretty much there just to get fed off of. Unfortunately, a lot of them just get ate on. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So I find that the 3 levels of consciousness, I find that quite interesting. Look that up. That's on YouTube too. I think I might have posted that on the community board. Bobby talking about the 3 levels of consciousness. I believe it's on the YouTube channel. There's a brother on YouTube or sister. I don't know who's running it. It's called JJ. And this channel posts a whole lot of Bobby Hemmitt clips. But the good thing is, of course, he also put the link in there a lot of times, if he has a link to the actual full link of the video. So you can get the, get the whole view of what Bobby was explaining in the clip that he, spliced up. But on this particular clip, I found it was just, I just listened to it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? I found that profound. You know what I mean? Like to imagine that the 1% of this world, of this world who is conscious, that they have decided consciously to run it in the manner in which they do, regardless of how it affects people. I find that quite fantastic. You understand? But then again, to me, it doesn't quite explain it all. There are so many mysteries down here. A lot of this shit is just seems to be completely unexplainable. Like you can really go crazy in this shit if you're not careful. You understand? Please use discernment. Not to say that you cap yourself. You understand what I'm saying? But you can more or less get to a point to where you can confuse yourself because it seems like when you're studying, for some reason, sometimes it seems like no answer is satisfactory. Like, you be like, oh, this ain't, why do I don't feel fulfilled? This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to another, I gotta go to another. You know what I mean? That can be very, daunting on you mentally and spiritually. So be patient with yourself. Be patient and you will get it in time. You understand? You will get it in time. When it's your time, you will get it. You know what I mean? Don't be envious of anyone's so-called breakthroughs or wisdom or personal understandings. You understand what I'm saying? Just know that you're going to get it when you get it. When you supposed to fucking get it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you will always be thinking you behind, and you fucking not. How you gonna think you behind when you've made the transformation? Like, think about the billions of motherfuckers who don't know shit and don't want to know shit about nothing, but other than how they gonna pay their fucking rent. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or they totally engrossed in politics and the media. They can't think for themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they can't think for themselves. Like, you don't, like, remember who the fuck you are. You a motherfucking player. You can think for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You can fucking think for, like, imagine that. Like, imagine, like, it's not just a matter of information for you that you know that you are a forever being. You understand what I'm saying? That what's in you, that you know that you come from the very essence that started and began everything, which means by birthright that you are forever. You understand what I'm saying? When you begin to truly accept that in your heart, you know, that begins to relieve the fear of death. And that's when, for me, when that began to happen, that's when death for me started to become more and more interesting. And death is at the top of my list of understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Death, number one. Because that's the secret. That's one of the big secrets to this. Is understanding what's on the other side of this shit. And judging on, I don't want to say on recent. It appears to still, even though the ancients talked about it in detail, in the Book of the Dead and so forth, it's still, even the modern scholars who break this shit down, this shit is still a mystery. Death is still a mystery. No one knows exactly how it goes. You know what I mean? Like when you meditate, like, do you ever just meditate on your own personal being? Not something that's super deep, but just like seeing, like looking at your hands and shit. And just seeing, like, I'm just in this shit. Like, I'm in this motherfucker. Like, the fuck is going on around this bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm like you can scare yourself by thinking about, am I only the result of two motherfuckers fucking? You understand what I'm saying? Is that it? You know what I mean? This is how the mind will play tricks on you. Like, am I just the result of two motherfuckers fucking? And then once I'm done and once I'm dead, is that it? Because I don't know what the fuck happens. Because it's not clear if the way it works down here is that reincarnation, it's not like absolutely clear 100% of the time who comes back and who don't. You know what I'm saying? Because they come back as something completely different. We just don't know how this shit go. And that's what's used to be scary to me in the beginning as I was studying it. But the scariness is good, because that's what makes you want to go in the darkness even more. You want to be excited about the challenge. You want to be excited about seeking it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you see yourself as the protagonist in your mind, like, you don't feel like nothing's gonna stop you. Like, you ain't got time for no fears. You just keep going and going and going. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna get this shit by hook or crook. If I don't understand death, by the time I leave this motherfucker in the human form, I'm preparing my mind to accept whatever it is, regardless. So maybe I already got the shit. Maybe that's the key. I don't know. One thing I do know is that something is working extremely hard on keeping this shit going, and I find that interesting. You know what I'm saying? But like that alien bullshit, I knew that shit was bullshit. I knew when they was gonna say they was gonna drop some information. I was telling my lady, I was like, yo, I said, there is no fucking way they're gonna have any concrete evidence about the shit. You understand what I'm saying? I knew they weren't gonna have shit to say. I was like, all right, let's see if they really got some concrete evidence of this shit, and they don't. We'll be sitting here holding our breath. Shit. Let's see. Oh, I could have did this. Hold on. Nah, I don't want to do that. Ooh, I been high. I been high. Y'all know these the High Chronicles. Come over here fucking around. These the High Chronicles. Ain't nothing more valuable. You have to begin to see that all the other superficial shit, none of that shit matters. Like nothing tops knowing. Nothing tops fucking knowing. Nothing tops knowing. Nothing tops that. Nothing tops knowledge. Wisdom and understanding. I mean, shit. Find me something greater down this motherfucker. Find me something better. Find me something better to do. Find me something better to do. All I see is just too much shit to know. And all I see is too much shit that I don't know. That's all I see. So find me something better than seeking knowledge. For no greater purpose than to understand and just wanting to know this shit. Like, just trying to know this shit. And it's, and it's not, it's painstaking. But it ain't painstaking in like, I don't consider it a labor of love. You know what I mean? You could consider it a labor of love, but I don't consider it a labor of love. I feel like that's what I was born to do. You know what I mean? It's my duty to do this shit. I came here to do this shit. To get this shit on. Get this shit on so I can get the fuck on. Get the shit on to get the fuck on. I heard a fire ass record today. Hold on, I posted it on Instagram. Hold on, I'm about to play this shit. Immortal 72 said, "Do you think there are side effects to knowing too much?" The side effects initially is going to be just you dealing with your old programming trying to survive. Those are the main side effects. And how they try to survive is your thoughts giving you those new doubts based on your new information and your new wisdom and understanding. Your old programming is still there because it's still a part of your subconscious. So it will still speak to you because you have yet to totally kind of remove it. You're just enlightened, so to speak. You understand? Well, I don't want to say enlightened because enlightened will kind of denote understanding, but you're kind of getting there. So, like, it's kind of like I get questions like, all right, now that I'm conscious, well, now I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't deal with like other races of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get questions like that. from men, from male and females, like from male and females who might perhaps for whatever reason they preferences, they might want to fuck a different type of race that's outside of theirs. You know what I'm saying? And they are completely like torn, like confused. They are what's the word I'm looking for? Those words describe it well, but like it's really kind of tormenting. You know what I'm saying? Like they be like, man, I'm you know, I'm in, you know, I know I'm into this. I understand this and this and that and the third, but you know what I'm saying? My lady is Mexican, or you know what I'm saying? My you know, she'll say my dude is white, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like people like, you know, like they try to they feel like is their consciousness compromised based on their personal relationship preferences. You know what I mean? And it's not. You know what I mean? It's not. You have to have confidence. You got to have the confidence to walk in whatever truth you want to walk in. You know what I mean? Whatever, and you got to be willing to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? There's no sweet way of saying it. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to deal with it. You got to take it head on. Perhaps that's a part of your journey. Perhaps there is something about that you need to get. Maybe that's a dark door that you just need to just go ahead and just walk on through proudly. You understand what I'm saying? Live your truth. Live your truth. You dig? Live your motherfucking truth. You know what I mean? You cannot. Goddamn fly. You cannot overcompromise. You know what I mean? Be real with yourself and accept the new. Because those are the side effects. Because before you are conscious immortal, it's like you just accept it as regular thoughts in your mind. And it is just regular thoughts, but once you become conscious, it's like you sit on a seat, and then you become like now you're looking at it with a bit more. You're more critical of what's in your mind now. You understand what I'm saying? That's the side effect of consciousness sometimes, and especially in the beginning, you become very critical. Excuse me, of your programming and how it affects you. Because you're trying to figure out, especially for me, I was trying to figure out how to be. I was so programmed through religion. The way religion fucked me up was getting me in a mindset of how to be in something, how to be a part of some sort of group. You understand what I'm saying? I was stuck in that mindset. So when I was beginning to, as Bobby would say, when your soul time clock goes off, you know what I mean, and you begin to try to know shit, you're still dealing with that old programming. You understand what I'm saying? So as I'm becoming quote unquote conscious, I'm learning how to be conscious. I'm wearing like unks and shit, crystals. You know what I mean? I'm wearing conscious clothes. I'm making conscious posts on Facebook. I'm making conscious posts on Instagram. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm being a conscious nigga. I'm doing the conscious shit. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying all the conscious things. Hotep. Peace Queen. What's up, King? All that good shit. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm socializing in this shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's a part of the game. That's a part of the beginning. You know what I mean? You're just a baby. You know what I mean? So you're a baby in the sense of how you're dealing with this new found understanding. Because as you're shedding the programs, you begin to realize that the true program is whatever the fuck you come up with. And how well you can actually freak it. You understand what I'm saying? It's no different than music. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you are an artist, at the end of the day,
You got to come up with your own music. Yes, yes, you are rapping on the beat just like the next nigga, but at the same time, you got to figure out how to do it your way within that same arena. You know what I'm saying? No different than dating. In the world of dating, it's an arena of how shit go. You are responsible of how you maneuver in the arena of dealing with people. You understand? You the master of that shit. You understand? You get to decide how this shit go. You understand what I'm saying? But your discernment come into play because your discernment will tell you in your mind, okay, if you want to live this way, these are the consequences of this whatever lifestyle. Not necessarily consequences, but you got to be able to accept any and all and everything that comes with this whatever lifestyle that you're trying to live. Accountability is so key. It is so key. You know what I'm saying? And in my view, and in my world, honesty is the highest level of the game. By far, to me, ain't nothing fucking with honesty. Being straightforward, real, and 100. You understand what I'm saying? And never being afraid to lose. Never being afraid to perhaps miss out because you believe this person is unable to accept whatever truth you're about to spew out. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be like, you got to really be willing to accept what's going on with you. You understand what I'm saying? So somebody, because how you expect somebody else to accept it if you not accepting it? You understand what I'm saying? You will always be living capped. You know what I mean? And no situation or relationship will be happy enough because you're not truly expressing yourself. You're just socializing. You understand what I'm saying? You're just getting along to get along. You're just like, this is how shit is. So I might as well just do this relationship shit conventionally. But in reality, you can do the shit however the fuck you want. You know what I mean? You can really do it how you want. You just gotta be willing to live in that and not be scared. You dig? Can't be scared. Don't be scared. We was watching Life the other day. Don't be scared. That movie's so fucked up. Life. I mean, they don't waste no time. That movie, I mean, it gets fucked up real quick. Real quick. From the rooter to the tutor, the shit is fucked up. It's almost hard to laugh at, but the shit is funny. Super funny. Yeah, let's see. What we got here? Did I miss anything? I am Sabrina. Well, damn, where you been? Man, I've been, man. I told man, I've been in the cut. I told I be chilling, man. I be busy, man. I be out there busy, man. Out chilling. I be chilling. I be really chilling for real, man. Like a god is supposed to. There ain't no other way. When I see myself, when I imagine how a god lives, I can't help but see my head on the figure or whatever god I imagining. This shit is fucking me. You know what I'm saying? So when I see how God is living, I'm like, yeah, that's how I'm supposed to be living. Just the fuck like that. I like how that is. You understand what I'm saying? So I do it. Do it. J Dollar, peace. What up? Shit. I'll be around. Mostly on IG. That's why I be at. Just hit me up on IG. I be on that motherfucker. I actually put it in the description box for you niggas today. As a courtesy. That's why I be on that bitch clowning. That shit don't mean shit. I be on that shit clowning. Having a good time. You understand what I'm saying? This shit don't validate us. this social media shit, this YouTube shit, this Instagram shit, this shit don't validate. This shit ain't nothing. This supposed to be a tool for us to use for our own personal transformations. You know what I mean? This is supposed to help us elevate. You know what I mean? Or use it as a purpose for that. Because if this shit left and went away, who would give a fuck? You understand what I'm saying? But you gonna turn into a WWE wrestler? Once they take wrestling away, your ass is dazed and confused. And that's what a lot of these niggas be when YouTube snatch they poor little channel away. Them niggas be sick. Look at Boosie begging for his IG back. Sick. He's sick without that motherfucker. Sick. You understand what I'm saying? Validation, baby. He said, please can I get my shit back and my 10 million followers back. Like, if they're a real 10 million, you should be able to carry them motherfuckers to any platform. But that's not how this shit go. Those 10 million exist within the world of Instagram. All this shit a lot of this shit is just little mini worlds. So he wants access to that mini world to where where them 10 million motherfuckers is at. But them 10 million motherfuckers ain't on YouTube. Shit. Let's see. What breakthroughs you come upon lately? Shit. I don't even know. I'll be making up some shit trying to think of it'll have to come to the spirit. Nigga, I don't know. Breakthroughs. Like they come every day. They come every day. You know what I mean? Another Bobby quote. God damn it, because I've been listening to a lot of Bobby lately. He said something profound. He said, the ancients said that a day that you don't learn is a day that you didn't live. That every day that you learn is a day that you lived. So that's why learning was so important. When I had to really think about that shit. You understand what I'm saying? I thought about that for some days. It's that set on my mind for some days. A day that you don't learn something is a day that you don't live. I had to really think about that. Oh, my neighbor with his Camaro. You hear that? That's my neighbor with his Camaro. That nigga done pull up. He probably gonna hit me up. He probably gonna try to smoke something. But yeah, man. I had to really think about that. Once I took that as, for me, once I heard that, I just took it as a personal challenge to learn something new every day. You understand? Like, try to, you know what I mean? To the best of my ability, try to learn something or expose myself to something new. Like when I think about the movie Matrix, the first one when you see Neo and he's sitting down and he's getting all this information zapped into his mind, how I see that is just him accessing his subconscious mind or him commanding certain information from the Akashic records. You understand what I'm saying? Him trying to get access to certain things from his subconscious mind. Him exposing himself to new information. So when I'm sitting there and I'm listening to a lecture, it could be about anything. What I've learned is that I don't necessarily have to hear every word. I don't have to hear every word. I don't have to understand everything that he's saying. Because I understand how the subconscious mind works. I understand that it gets everything that it grabs and doesn't forget anything. You understand what I'm saying? So how I see it is that what I do catch, which I call fish in the river, whatever I do catch is what I was meant to catch and eat that day. You understand? I take that and I just, digest that shit, so to speak. You know what I mean? and just take it for what it is, because I know that that I got everything, all the good shit. You understand? Even though it doesn't appear on the conscious mind, because you know you got to understand how this shit works, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. You understand what I'm saying? Get the book. What's the goddamn book called? I think I showed it before. What's that shit called? Too High to Think. Not Mind Control. What the fuck? God damn. I think it was by Robert Van Fleet. Let me see. Now I gotta look this shit up. What the hell is this book called? God damn. Hidden Power. God damn. How to Unleash the Power of Your Subconscious Mind. James K. Van Fleet. You understand what I'm saying? That book gives an excellent, simple, and practical, detailed understanding of the subconscious mind. That book right there provided one of my first great personal breakthroughs when I first read that book, J Dollar. Hidden Power. You see it. Oh, okay. You probably beat me to it. I didn't even see the comments. Yeah, Hidden Power. That book is powerful because it helps you get a practical understanding of how your mind works on that level. Subconscious versus conscious. You begin to realize that the conscious mind, you know, of course, it runs everything. It is what impacts your reality. It absorbs any and all information. You know what I mean? And it doesn't forget anything. And I found that interesting. I said, so since it doesn't forget anything, that means that I have it. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't want to get complacent in that. You still want to continue to study and get the understanding, because you can say, okay, well, since it's already there, I ain't got to study no more. I just listen to it one time, I can move on. You know, yeah, but there ain't nothing like getting it on the conscious level and marrying the two. You understand what I'm saying? That's where the true breakthrough happens. You understand what I'm saying? That's when the true breakthrough happens. You know, breakthroughs happen when you are truly open to whatever the outcome is. When you just like, when you don't have a personal will for what the outcome is supposed to be. You just like, fuck it. You understand? I just want to know. I just want to know. I don't give a fuck. I just want to fucking know. And that's that. You dig? You just want to know. And that's that pure of heart shit. It's that pure of heart shit. You dig? Chief Heartbeat, the Magician. That's the Magician. That's by what was that? Philip Cooper? Alice Philip? I think it's Philip Cooper. I got that book. I think I got that on the PDF, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Philip Cooper, yeah. I got the old school version of the PDF, but I believe Dreamwise sells physical copies of that. I'm gonna have to get me a copy one day of The Magician, so I can because even though I have it on the PDF, it's kind of a hard. I like having the physical book. You know what I mean? Reading the PDF, reading them pages. I don't know. It just don't do it for me. So I prefer actually having the book, if I can. You say, yes, it's Phil Cooper? Yeah. Yep, I got the PDF. The OG PDF. Because when you look at the pages, that shit look like it came out the original manuscript. But I'm glad to know that he has, I think he has reprints that you can get brand new. I don't think he changed anything. But yeah, man. Any questions before I head out this bitch? Slide out. I promise y'all I ain't gonna be no fucking 3 months this time. Shit, man. I promise. I promise. It won't be no 3 months. People be thinking I be fucking dead. They be like, they be hitting me up like, yo, you alright? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, nigga. You see, Lord Swank, Hazarat Khan's book, The Mysticism of Sound and Music, gave me a lot of breakthroughs of music as far as taking my beats to another level. That's Lord Swank. Where did I see that today? I must have seen that on Instagram or something. I think I follow you on Instagram. And I think I seen that today. The mysticism of sound and music. I was like, that look interesting. The mysticism of sound and music. Because when you begin to see yourself as all, and if all is it's just you, like, you begin to see if everything comes from you, you begin to really begin to see music and sound on a whole different level. And that's what I was saying, that when I look at the sun, moon, and stars, like, yeah, I see that it's there, but if I'm from the all, and that shit comes from me, that shit becomes a bit more interesting. Why did I need to express it that way? Or why did we, I should say. I'm saying I. But that's how I be seeing that shit in my mind. I be studying, you know, not in no grandiose way, but I've totally convinced myself that I'm God. You know what I mean? I am totally convinced. You know what I mean? So, you know, even though I'm saying it publicly, it's a very personal understanding. You know, it's a very personal understanding. Like, once you sit in that seat of chaos, man, it's like you ain't playing no other. You can't play no sucker role. You could never play a sucker role again, ever. You be like, you be feeling like you always gotta do better. You dig? No, it's funny. Yeah, you fucking. Okay, word. Yep, I seen that. Okay. Yeah. So it was a Bobby Hemmett recommendation. Okay. His book list is incredibly monumental, nigga. But anyways, I'll holler at you Negroes later. I'm about to roll up and bust a move. Peace.